Why is it taking so long? Yeah. Problem number 38. We can do after that. I think this is a problem which you asked, right? Person slides freely down a frictionless inclined plane while his bag falls down, right? I think
Yes,
this
sir.
is what
Yes.
we discussed. So problem number 41 is already we discussed. 39 is a easy problem. We can try that. Consider a car moving along a straight horizontal road with a speed of 72 km per hour. 36 Whenever you see 36 kilometer per hour, immediately you should remember that it is 10 meter per second. அங்கே போய் உட்காந்து மல்டிப்ளிகேஷன் டிவிஷன்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கக்கூடாது. 5/18 18/5 இல்லை யோசிச்சுட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா யூ நாட் ஹேவ் டைம். ஸோ 72 kilometer per hour means it will be 20 meter per second. So these are all very standard numbers. Very often they will ask you. I think it is 54, so that will be 15. So this some these kind of numbers 18, it will be 5. So these kind of numbers, if you know one thing, you can arrive at all the other things. Okay, we should not do multiplication division there. If the coefficient of static friction between the tires on the road is 0.5, so that means there is a car here. It's going at 20 meter per second. Friction coefficient is mu is equal to 0.5. The shortest distance in which the car can be stopped. So that means basically they are asking to find the stopping distance. Okay, it's coming in the handbook, you can go back and check. So I think we studied something like v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. Finally, the car has to come to a stop. Okay, can be stopped. So that means this is 0. Initial velocity is given. Distance is what is asked, stopping distance, right? That means the only thing which is missing is a. How do I find acceleration? If I know the force, right? Force divided by mass will give me the acceleration. So that means again we are not accelerating here, we are actually decelerating, which means the a will be actually a negative value. In other words, instead of pressing the accelerator, you are pressing the brakes. So that means when you press the accelerator, you are going forward. When you press the brakes, you will be going backwards. Is that correct? Brake அடிச்ச பின்னாடி போகணும். Is that true?
Sir,
Hmm?
sir,
Brake அடிச்ச
could you please repeat
பின்னாடி
the question, sir?
போகணும். காரணம்
Break அடிச்சா முன்னாடி தானே சார் போகும்.
முன்னாடி தான் போகணும். Okay. So that means you are still awake. Okay. So many people, they think that the moment you put deceleration, the car will go in the backwards. That is not true. So that means we are actually reducing the speed. So that means the car is still going in the forward direction, but the force is actually acting in the reverse. So air resistance, friction, so those kind of things are acting in the backwards. So that's why the speed is reducing. So mu into n. என்ன சார் மாஸ் ஆஃப் த காரே கொடுக்கல எப்படி சார் இது பண்ணுறது அப்படின்ட்டு யூ மே கெட் அ டவுட். ஸோ மியூ இன்ட்டு எம்ஜின்னு போட்டுக்கலாம். பட் ஜஸ்ட் நோ ஐ டோல்ட் யூ if I want A, friction forces mass into acceleration. So mm cancel. So very very important method. So take it down properly. அப்போ காரோட மாஸ் கொடுத்துருக்க மாட்டாங்க, but still they will not give you the mass of the car, but still this will get cancelled out. So that means you can calculate energy. That's all. So after this it's a very very easy problem. So that means this will come here, you will get the value for yes. So that means u is 20 square. A is mu into g, but as I told you it is deceleration, so minus mu is 0.5 into g is they given it as 10. Why minus? Because retardation. Okay, retardation, deceleration, negative acceleration, all these things are same. Okay, so make a note somewhere in your handbook properly.
Sir, why we are taking negative sign, sir? Because the car is decelerating.
Yeah, so are you இது வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் டைரக்ஷன்ல இருக்கு அப்படின்னா இது என்னது, எந்த டைரக்ஷன்ல இருக்கு?
Negative direction.
அவ்வளவுதான். ஸோ ஃபோர்ஸ்
Negative
நெகட்டிவ்,
direction.
ஃபோர்ஸ் நெகட்டிவ்னா ஆக்சிலரேஷனும் நெகட்டிவ். ஓகே.
So when we apply the brakes, the car will move towards negative direction.
நெகட்டிவ் டைரக்ஷன் போகுமா? Force தான் நெகட்டிவ் டைரக்ஷன். கார் will still be moving here only. It will come to a stop
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
அதுக்கப்புறம் ரிவர்ஸ் கியர் போட்டு ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணாதான் கேப் பின்னாடி போகும், இல்லாட்டி பின்னாடி போகாது. கரெக்டா? அதுக்காக ரிவர்ஸ் கியர் வந்து.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we need. Okay, sir. Only the force. Yes, sir.
So this will become 5. So 5 into 2. So it will become 10. So minus 10 into yes. So this minus minus cancels, 0 0 cancels. So 2 into 20 will be 40. So in 40 meters it will come to a stop. Okay, many of you will get confused with this one. In the logic, in the concept theriyala appadina, you will not be able to do this. Okay, many of you will know this one, but you may be missing this one. So understand that this is the important thing to remember. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go through question number 40, 41 we already did. We will get some water. So this is theta, this is also theta. We have talked about this many times. So this will become mg sine theta. This will become mg cos theta. This is normal reaction, normal to the surface. Coefficient of kinetic friction equal to, so that means friction means it will be acting in the opposite direction. Friction. So that means, listen carefully. So friction, I don't have space here, so let me write it here. So friction is equal to mu into n. Mu into, very often you will make a mistake of writing it as mg, but look at this. N is equal to mg cos theta, not mg. So that means idu in the opposite. So that means it is mg cos theta. Okay, in inclined plane problems, it is not mg. Flat roadல இருக்கு அப்படின்னாக்கா, this is mg, car weight is mg, that means normal reaction is also this way. So that means this is equal to this. On an inclined plane, when you come to inclined plane, this mg is acting this way, but the normal reaction is acting this way, normal to the surface. Okay, maybe the drawing is not perfect. I will draw one more time. So if you have any doubts, please raise your doubts. So mg will be always acting vertical. Normal reaction will always be acting perpendicular to the surface. So that means you see, if this is theta, this will be theta. Okay. Any doubts here? If you don't know this basics, you cannot do these kind of problems. Now carefully listen, right? They said it is moving at a constant speed. This is a very, very important word. Since they said constant speed, right? What can you say about the acceleration? Acceleration is?
Speed constant means there is no acceleration.
Okay, that means acceleration is equal to? Acceleration is equal to? No acceleration சொல்ல தெரியுது. அப்ப acceleration is equal to?
0.
அவ்வளவுதானே. ஏன் அவ்வளவு நேரம் யோசிக்கிறீங்க?
Sir, acceleration is 0.
கேட்கல.
Sir, 0 acceleration.
Yeah. So now if you see this one on the inclined plane, it is sigma f is equal to ma. Sigma f means mg sin theta minus f friction, which is mu mg cos theta, is equal to acceleration is 0, constant speed. I told you 1000 times, most important formula in mechanics is sigma f is equal to ma. 0 இருக்கிறதுனால m can be removed, so I can divide by m. G can also be removed. So that means sin theta, I think we already did a problem like this. Cos theta is equal to 0. So that means sin theta is equal to mu cos theta. So mu is equal to tan theta. Very easy, nothing very difficult at all. So coefficient of kinetic friction is equal to tan theta. Okay. #41 we already did it in the doubt clarification. See, this is what I was talking about. I think we have done some problem similar to what we did now. Mg sin theta, mg cos mu, mg cos theta equate this. So mu is equal to tan theta. Okay, tan 45, so 3 by 4. I think we have done something similar here. Okay, the concept here is I think we talked about this earlier. So very important. Okay, as I always say, making a simple drawing is very important. So that's your lorry or truck, and let's say there is a small mass, 1 kg mass. Truck which accelerates with the acceleration of 5 meter per second, second square. Requires static friction between the block and the truck is mu is equal to 0.6. The frictional force acting on the block is, so very important type. The concept here, it's called pseudo force, pseudo acceleration and pseudo force. Only if you know this concept, you will be able to do these kind of problems. Otherwise, there is no way you can do this problem. Okay. Sometimes when you are looking at the solutions in the online or in your books, they don't tell you the proper concept, underlying concept, right? They give you the solution, but they don't tell you the proper concept. So that's why, classroom learning is very important. That means everyone listen carefully, very important concept. Suppose if I have a paper here and if I keep a small block here and if I pull it this way, right, what will happen? You will see that the block is kind of going this way. Have you seen this? You can try this right now on your table, right? So paper மேலே ஒரு சின்ன பிளாக் இல்லை உங்களோட ஷார்ப்னர் இல்லை எரேசர் ரப்பர் ஏதாவது வச்சுக்கோங்க, ஒரு பக்கம் எழுங்க. அப்போது யூ வில் see that it is kind of left back in the table. Only the paper will be coming out. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
அப்போ என்ன அர்த்தம்னாக்கா, நம்ம இங்கே ஆக்சலரேட் பண்ணும்போது this will also experience an acceleration in the opposite side, and that is what we call it as pseudo acceleration. இது நம்ம எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோமா அப்படின்னாக்கா, நம்ம காரில் உட்காந்துருக்கோம், இல்லை பஸ்ஸில் உட்காந்துருக்கோம், நம்ம தூங்கிட்டு இருக்கோம், நம்மள தெரியாமல் திடீர்னு யாரோ டிரைவர் வண்டி எடுக்கிறாரு, ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக ஆக்சிலரேட் பண்ணுறாரு. ஸோ விச் வே யூ வில் கெட் புஷ்ட்? வில் யூ கெட் புஷ்ட் பேக்வர்ட்ஸ் ஆர் ஃபார்வர்ட்? சடனாக வண்டி எடுக்கிறாங்க.
So we push backward.
You will get pushed backwards. So that means when the car is pulled forward, you will get pushed backwards, and that is what we call as pseudo acceleration. அப்போ கார் 1000 kg இருக்கும், அப்போ ஃபோர்ஸ் ரொம்ப அதிகமாக இருக்கும். F is equal to ma. அப்போ 1000 into 2 meter per second 2000 kg நம்ம மேலே ஆக்ட் ஆகுமா சார் அப்படின்னா ஆகாது. அதுதான் கான்செப்ட். அப்போ என்ன அர்த்தம்னாக்கா, ஆக்சிலரேஷன் தான் சேம். இது 5 meter per second ஸ்கொயராக இருந்ததுனாக்கா, இஃப் யூ சே திஸ் இஸ் 5 meter per second square, this will also be 5 meter per second square. Only thing it will be in the opposite direction. but the force will not be same. Pseudo force. Pseudo force. What is force? F is equal to ma. Apo, whatever the mass the passenger is, like 50 kg or something, or this 1 kg block, that will be the 1 kg into acceleration 5 meter per second square. That will be the pseudo force. Okay, so you should not assume that it will be 1000 kg into 5. Okay, 5000 kg in the block layer force act on. You should not assume. Only 5 Newton will be acting. Any confusion so far? Let me say that one more time. Pseudo acceleration is equal and opposite. Pseudo force is not equal and opposite. புரிஞ்சுதா புரியலையா?
Yes, sir.
Others, you don't following that? Any doubts so far? Sachin Patil, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Sendamil Chelvan, are you following? Bhumika, are you following? Bhumika, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So take it down, very very important concept. Pseudo, what do you mean by pseudo? Pseudo means false. So pseudo acceleration means it's not. Pseudo acceleration means false acceleration. Okay, when you get pushed in the car, nobody is pushing you actually backwards. So it's just a pseudo thing. Okay, false force. Pseudo acceleration is equal and opposite. Whereas pseudo force is not equal and opposite. Which means it is determined by the mass. By the mass of the object. F is equal to ma. You may get a confusion, sir. Then what about Newton's third law? Well, as I said, Newton's third law is for real forces. This is not a real force. This is a pseudo force. Okay. That's all. If you know this concept, if you know what is pseudo force, what is pseudo acceleration, this pseudo acceleration is equal and opposite, but pseudo force is not, then you can do this problem very easily. Okay. Without knowing this, you cannot do it. As I said, your books and websites, sometimes they miss the concept. They focus on the solution, they don't focus on the concept. I'm not saying they are not useful, they are useful, but only in the classroom with the teacher you can learn these concepts. Okay, you cannot learn them in the books. Okay, so that means the force coefficient of static friction between the block and the truck is 0.6. The frictional force acting on the block is, so sometimes they will give you a trolley, sometimes they will give you a paper is pulled like this, sometimes they will give you a truck pulled, right? But the concepts are same. So F friction is 0.6 is the mu. So what are they asking? They are asking you to find the frictional force acting on the block. So frictional force is F friction is equal to mu into N. Another important concept, okay, listen carefully. I said it is getting pushed backwards, so that means it is trying to go backwards. When it is trying to go backwards, what do you think about the direction of friction? Is it acting forward or backward? The direction of friction will always be
Forward.
hmm, will
Forward,
always be
sir.
opposite to the movement. So that means if it is trying to go backwards, the friction will be acting forward. So this is also a common error many of you will make. So this is trying to go this way. That means the friction is acting this way. You may get a doubt, sir, the truck is going in the forward direction. Well, the truck is going in the forward direction or the trolley is going in the forward direction. But the block is trying to slide down backwards. So that means the friction will be acting this way. In reality, the friction is what is keeping the block along with the truck. Otherwise, it will fall down. F friction is equal to mu into N. So mu into mg. So mu is 0.6, I think. What did they say? 0.6, yeah. M mass is 1 kg, G is 10, right? I can take it as 10. That means it will be 6 Newton. Here I found the pseudo force was 5 into 1 kg, so that means it will be 5 Newton, right? So that means you have both 5 Newton and 6 Newton. Can anyone tell me which one should I choose? Should I choose 5 Newton or 6 Newton? Anybody? Another important concept. You see, it's all physics is all about concepts. Okay, there are no problems at all, only concepts. In the formula padi பார்த்தா, in this formula I am getting 5 Newton. In this formula I am getting 6 Newton. And unfortunately they given both this options. So that means which one should I choose? The answer is there in the handbook. So I will show you how to understand this concept. Very, very important. Yeah, so this problem, this concept. So it's there in the laws of motion. So very, very important concept. So please pay attention. In your textbooks, it's not given properly. So you should understand this very well. You see, as I keep on increasing the external force, the friction will also keep on increasing. And then it reaches a maximum value. Once it reaches the maximum value, it will be constant. So that means the friction is not constant at the beginning. So this region is called static friction region, and this is called kinetic friction. So the static friction, it reaches a maximum value, and then there is a sudden drop, and then it will be constant. So that means the 6 Newton, right, which we calculated, actually we calculated this one. Okay, so that means this is the maximum value, but actually the acceleration is right now I will explain it one more time with the good example, so please pay attention. Let's say this is like a 100 kg block, very big block, and somebody is trying to push this. When he is applying 5 Newton, the frictional force will also be 5 Newton. When this guy is applying 10 Newton, this guy will also be the friction, F friction will also be 10 Newton. So that means both will cancel and it will not move. And when I apply 15 Newton, maybe it has reached the maximum value, right? So somewhere around, say, 10 Newton is the maximum. So that means now the friction cannot go beyond that, which means 15 minus 10, so 5 Newton will be the resultant. So that means it will start moving here. So again, what I am trying to say here is the friction formula which you apply, right? This formula which we are writing is not perfect. You have to write it as mu s max, maximum static friction. That means it reaches as I keep on increasing the F external force. This is F external. So as I keep on increasing the F external force, the F friction will also increase. But will it keep on increasing forever? No, it will reach a maximum value and then it will become constant. So that means this is your 6 Newton, but right now for the given acceleration we are at 5 Newton. So that means 5 Newton will be the correct answer, not the 6 Newton. So this is also a common error all of us will do. We will directly use this formula and then we will forget about this. Can anyone tell me what will happen if the truck accelerates with 7 meter per second square? Then what will be the friction?
7 Newton.
7 Newton. Force will be 7 Newton, right? Which is acting backwards. But the friction here will be only 6 Newton because it cannot give more than 6 Newton. Okay, very confusing problem, so please pay attention. So what I'm saying is, if you are pulling the paper very fast, if you pull it slowly, if I pull it slowly, then the force here is 5 Newton. Friction here is also 5 Newton. So 5 Newton minus 5 Newton, it will be 0. Sigma F is equal to MA. So 5 Newton minus 5 Newton, so it will be 0. So mass into acceleration, so acceleration is equal to 0, which means it is not accelerating, meaning this block will go along with the truck, okay, with respect to the truck. But suppose if I change the problem a little bit, which often they will do, right, as I have been telling you, they will not ask the same question, they will twist the question for the next exam, next NEET exams. So A will not be 5, they will say it is 7 meter per second square for the same 1 kg. So that means you can see that this will be 7 into 1 kg. That means 7 Newton is acting this way. But the F friction, right? F friction is determined by mu into N. So that means F friction is equal to mu into mg. So same value will get. So that means 0.6 into 1 into 10. So that means it will be 6 Newton. So that means somebody is going this way 7 Newton, somebody is pulling you this way 6 Newton. So what will happen to the object? It will go forward or backward? No answers. So that means what will happen? If I accelerate too much, the block will slide back and it will fall. Are you following or not? Are you following or not, Vedant?
Yes, sir. Follow. Yes, sir. Following, sir.
Okay. இப்போ கொஞ்சம் மெதுவாக அந்த பேப்பர் மெதுவாக எழுத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் பேப்பர் மேலே வச்சுருக்கிறது இட் வில் கம் அலாங் வித் யூ, பேப்பர் கூட சேர்ந்து வரும். அதே சர்ன்னு எடுத்தோம்னாக்கா என்ன ஆகும்? அந்த பிளாக் மட்டும் அங்கேயே இருக்கும், பேப்பர் மட்டும்தான் வரும். அது எப்படி ஃபாலோ?
Yes, sir.
That's all. So if they change the question, then you will say that the friction will be 6 Newton, not 7 Newton. Because if they ask you friction force, it is 6 Newton. If they ask you what is the force, pseudo force acting, then it will be 7 Newton. Okay, so for one problem you have to know so many concepts. Only then this problem will make sense. Otherwise ஒவ்வொரு தடையும் ட்விஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க, ஒவ்வொரு தடையும் வந்து will be saying, sir, I don't understand this, I don't understand this. So that means there are so many things you have to understand for one single problem. இப்போயும் I am sure that 100% புரிஞ்சிருக்காது, right? You have to take it இந்த மாதிரி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் போட்டு பார்க்கணும். Only then it will make sense. Otherwise it will not make sense. Okay, I think it's 9 p.m. right now, so I'm going to stop here. So your homework is, I think we are done the doubt questions answer பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம். So I think we are done only few problems today, 4 or 5 problems தான் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். Nothing wrong in it, right? As I always say, more problems you solve and ask doubts, that is the proper way of learning. ஓகேவா? நான் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறதுனால ஒரு பிரயோஜனமும் கிடையாது உங்களுக்கு. So only when you do the problem, you will understand this. இந்த மாதிரி பிளாக்லையும் they will ask you this. Okay, you see the wedge is accelerating this way, then what will happen to this block? It will accelerate backwards, and that is your pseudo acceleration. So try these kind of problems, okay, and then try the centripetal force problem, circular motion, right? And then we'll continue in the next class. Is that okay?
Fine, sir.
Okay, any other doubts?
Yes, sir.
Anybody?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much all. Okay, if you have doubts, send it to me in WhatsApp. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.